So I'll get it wet now and jump
on the other side.
So,
you can remove it because you can change it, or
you service the valves on it, you see. So yeah, just check that they've all got an expiry date on them. So
you can just change the kit.
Yes, so that's it basically. So you inflate them once a year just to make sure that it's like there's a little light on this one, you see. So some life jackets come with a light.
Yeah.
So that's what that is there. So you go in the water, that will flash. That's a great help if you are floating in the water. Obviously night time, it gives you an indication on your thing. So come up the other end.
And how does it turn on now?
That one, there's a little button on it.
Okay.
Wow. Here. And what it does, you see, even though I'm doing all this zip, when you hit it or the water goes off, it just tears it apart.
Ah, that's why the yellow parts are open.
That's exactly it, mate, yeah. Right, so there's your gas bottle there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's your little gas bottle there. They're weighed, so you weigh them to know whether they're still good
there is gas in or not.
But this is your little valve I was talking about here. So these are what you replace. So see there, all that is like a little bit of tissue that's on there.
Yeah.
And what that does is when that gets wet,
it
fires, activates this, so the pin will go off into the tank. And obviously, if you get what you call a hammer action, which is what the big yacht masters have, theirs is a slightly different valve. It's designed to meet with water pressure, basically, because as you've experienced today, if you were getting all that water over the top of you, last thing you want, obviously, is for your life jacket to be banging off on it. Some people, as I say, just take these off and just have them as manual, but that's just suicidal. Because what you've got to look at, if that boom smacks you across the head,
you're out.
You ain't going to be able to pull it.
You're out to it.
So autos are definitely the way ahead.
And how the tissue hits the system?
This is literally a couple of seconds. Once it's soaking wet, bang, it goes. So if I fell over in this water now, a couple of seconds, bang.
How does it release? How does it push the bottom?
Right, because it's holding. It's a little valve. It is, yeah. There's a little valve in there, which is a little wax capsule in there, if that makes sense. Which that comes off.
So like with the weight of the water, push on the system here.
And then that's it basically. It works on pressure. There's a little wax seal in there. That wax seal goes. That whacks that, and then that basically fires a pin. There's a pin. I'll go one more stage on it if I be careful without setting it off. Right, so there you go.
Yeah, it's like the one I use for the bike.
Yeah,
just in case.
See, that's completely sealed. What it does is it just
pinches
the thing. And if you look up in there, you see this little tiny pin.
Yep.
And that's as simple as it is, mate.
But so you go in the water with your bike, mate?
These couple of quid, that's all they cost you, so you don't have to buy a new life jacket. So
when you do the service, you change the.
I
change this one.
I will weigh it to see if it's still okay. If it's underweight, then I'll exchange it, because you don't know. And some people
change it.
Yeah, the way I always look at it, some people buy second-hand life jackets and they go, what you've got to look at, what's it called? It's called a life jacket, because it's hopefully going to save your life. So do you want something that you know is going to work, or something? And people do, especially children's life jackets. They're like, oh, I'll get this because it will. You're talking about a piece of life-saving equipment.
You said exchange it, so were you meant to take these and exchange these things, did you?
No, so you order these online.
No, the other thing, I think you said that, what you were saying about exchanging that, were you?
The gas bottle.
Yeah.
No, you can buy them as well. All this is serviceable.
Right, okay.
So you buy this part. But this is because you won't know whether this is still operational or not, because it's still sealed.
Yeah.
But what it's to do is they should weigh. So if you look online, it will tell you what the weight of that bottle should be with a decent amount of O2 in it. If it obviously doesn't meet that weight, then I would bin it. Even though it's not been used, it's just below the weight on it. So
if it's red, that means it's activated.
That's exactly it, mate. Yeah, exactly that. And even this valve, there's a special key I got home. You can take this valve off and you
check the valve.
Yeah. and then there's a manual tube on it, as you probably saw in there.
Yeah,
so
for blowing.
This one.
Yeah.
so blowing it, so because they'll put a fair amount of air in, but sometimes if you're floating around in them, you just have to let a little bit out, and you've got a little thing on the engine, and you can always top it up with the top on it.
Right.
And this has got a hood on it. So Tim alluded to about spray hoods on these. You imagine being in the sea with all that water spraying on you. It makes a massive difference having a
So
spray.
what, you don't tend to get that with most of these jackets?
No, these are like considered extras. I mean, this come with this jacket, but the lights and the hoods, some life jacket, it's like anything. You can buy at a cost for this, or you can pay to have.
Yeah, I see value in that sort of stuff, so I would probably do it.
Yeah, it is, mate. So and there's bigger, there's better. See, this is a 190 Newton life jacket here. So the average life jacket is about 150 newtons. On proper offshore boats and that, there used to be the British standard used to be 275 newtons, because all that kit you've got on. You imagine the weight of all that when it's heavy. So as an ocean sailors.
So that's the inflation point.
No, it's just a slightly bigger life jacket.
Oh, right. Okay.
What it does is it gives you bigger buoyancy. So this has got all these life jackets here, 150 newtons.
Right.
Will give you the next one up from these, where it used to be 275 newtons. Obviously, give you a bit more.
Right.
A bit more. The buoyancy bags around you is probably the easiest one, because that's all they're doing.
Yeah.
Just give you buoyancy amount.
Right.
So that's a life jacket. The handle for people to on the
Oh, Yankee in.
they can grab hold of you.
Okay.
But, the most dangerous thing with anything really is recovering people. Is boat hooks.
Botox.
The boat hooks. You see, we've got one on here with a hook on.
Yeah.
Absolutely lethal. People go out, they've done their best to recover someone, and obviously recover, but then they've caught them in the eye with a boat hook, because you're moving around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you do then? So we shouldn't have those sort of
No, they're fine, but you just got to be very wary that they're equivalent of a knife.
Right.
Even though they'll have plastic ends on or anything, but just treat them with
poke you.
Yeah, because it's a little thing that doesn't look very, but when you're bobbing around and that, trying to hook someone around,
I thought you'd be looking like one of those, those poolside ones where they have like a loop on them, like you go like that rather than that, because that's got a round end to it. Yeah.
There's no textbook way of any recovering anybody.
But when you recover a man overboard, it's better to get him from behind.
Depends on your circumstances, really, isn't it? So the easiest way is the lowest point of where your freeboard is. You understand what freeboard